There we go, let Michael pass. Has got his microphone this time, so both boxers will get full introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to you, the viewers watching live and exclusive on VIPboxing.tv. This contest is for 3-minute rounds of boxing in the super lightweight division. Introducing to you firstly, boxing out of the blue corner, wearing the black shorts trimmed with silver. Underweight, he scaled 10 stone, 6 ounces. Tonight, he fights in his 113th professional contest. He hails from Reading, presenting Smoking Ibrar. And opposing him, boxing out of the red corner, wearing the red, gold and white blood shorts. Underweight, he scaled 10 stone, 2 pounds, 9 ounces. Tonight, he makes his proud professional debut, presenting from Liverpool, once more, Philip Morris, and the referee in charge of the action, Darren Sargentson from Manchester, for 3-minute rules.
So Luke Willis ready to go?
Yeah, he shaved off his beard from when I saw him last.
What can we expect? What do you know about him? Is he aggressive? Is he a boxer? It's the first time I've seen Luke fight.
Yeah, he was a decent amateur, wasn't he? And ended up he's training now at the Dave Tonk's gym. So he's had good sparring there with the likes of Steve Brogan, and he started lively here, hasn't he?
Yeah, I was just thinking, it's a nice jab, and then he put a big left hook into the body, didn't he? It looked like a real solid shot.
And of course, Robbie Davis Jr.'s gym as well. So you know he's surrounded by decent people. Not the biggest gym in Liverpool, not a big gym by far. You know, there's only maybe 4 or 5 pros in there.
I imagine he'll be doing tons and tons around with Robbie Davis Jr., won't he?
Tons, and if he's learned anything off him, then he's like very, very fast. Southpaw corner, just shouting skill there. So
he comes from a famous fighting family. His uncle boxed in the Olympics.
Yeah, in the 1980 Olympics in Moscow, Tony went over, won a bronze.
Put his punches together beautifully here.
Very efficient, clean, isn't he? Every one's landed, he hasn't missed one yet.
That's that. Ibrar Riyaz, he's marked up around his eyes already. I think Luke's a hard puncher.
Flurry in the corner, you can tell he's
stabbing jab there to the stomach. He's just touching with a jab and then looking for a bigger power punches round the side, isn't he? He looks good.
Yeah. Thinking his way through the fight, isn't he? He doesn't look overawed. He doesn't look as if he'd be the type to be out-hustled by anyone if it got scrappy.
Ibrar's seen sense, hasn't he? Because when he was leading off and throwing lots, he was getting countered all over the place, but he's just reined it in a bit now.
Covering up now, yeah. Good use of the feet there, getting himself out the corner.
I suppose the question with someone like this, who started off like a whirlwind, will he be able to maintain it, or will he fall into a pattern after in the second and third and fourth rounds?
Nice and tidy first round from both compared to the last fight.
Yeah, he's just... It seems like whereas Craig Johnson, he started off, he was losing his range, wasn't he? He was getting dragged into all sorts, throwing too many shots. Luke just looks like he's taken to it very quickly. You know, he's keeping his distance. He's throwing the punches at the right times, not rushing anything.
Yeah, he's looks very calm, doesn't he? He's listening intently to his trainer, Dave Thompson, there in the corner. But yeah, he looks very cool, very calm. You can see he's thinking what shots to throw. He's thinking his way through the fight, but not in a way that is going to tire him out. Sometimes if fighters have to think too much about what they're doing, that is sort of mentally tiring as well, and that can affect the performance physically. But he looks in control here. Looks very good.
Ibrar Riyaz's season getting off to a pretty
10
unpleasant start there, I would have thought. First round of new season for Ibrar, first round for VIP boxing.
Seconds out.
Luke
Round 2.
Really well.
Straight away, Luke's just settled down, isn't he, again, just as he was for the first round. Moving his way in, looking for those openings.
I like the right uppercut. You know, he throws the left straight, doesn't he? And then he brings a tight little right uppercut through the middle.
Just trying to coax Riyaz into making a mistake there, wasn't he? A couple of feints while he had him in the corner.
Hands have dropped a bit from Luke, haven't they now? He's very confident. I don't think he should have changed what he was doing the first 3 minutes though. It's working absolutely perfectly.
That's it, maybe getting a bit overconfidence.
Don't want to disparage Luke or his family or anything while he's fighting, but if you ever see Luke's uncle called Tony, he fought Pat Barrett for Black Flash.
Yeah,
it's one of the most spectacular knockouts you'll ever see. Like Pat has a couple of Fighters who Steve looks after for VIP. Zelfa Barrett making great strides.
Great fighter, yeah.
Marcel Braithwaite from Golden Gloves is also turning over with Pat, and he'll make his debut in Liverpool in October. So it's funny how everything always comes back to link together in Northwest boxing, doesn't it?
It is, yeah. You know, with these great family names, great fighters from the past and their family. You know, it could be the sons or the nephews getting into the sport, and before you know it, they're all maybe facing each other again.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Tony's last fight after he'd had a great reign as British champion, won a Lonsdale belt outright. Keeps it under his bed in his house.
Does he?
Yeah.
Who was the guy who kept his Commonwealth Games medal in the drawer with the pens and blue tack in his kitchen?
Yeah, that was Jimmy Price. Yeah, Jimmy'd won a Commonwealth gold in Australia way back 70, I think, and went to his house, interviewed him good few times, cooked me tea a couple of times. He's a great cook. Him and his family looked after me there while I was interviewing him for Mersey Fighters 2, and I said, "Oh, have you still got any gear from the Commonwealth Games?" He said, "Yeah." He went to get the jacket. Jesus, that wouldn't go on his kid, I don't think. But he said, "Yeah, there's my Commonwealth Games," and that was like a bit tarnished and just a bit, wasn't where I thought it would be, like kept in a case. Or no, he said, "Oh no, I keep it the way everyone's got it, that drawer in the kitchen that's full of rubbish, old can openers that don't work anymore and stuff," and it was just in there. Yeah.
Nice in and out there from Willis, wasn't it? Sharp, hard punches as well.
Yeah. He does look like a hard hitter, doesn't he?
Be interested to know what Ibrar thinks of Luke. I think he looks like a pretty awkward, difficult, painful opponent to face.
I think that's always a good point. It's always maybe lost in a bit when you see some of these great journeymen and the fighting people making their pro debuts. And I remember the guy who Tom Stalker fought on his pro debut not long after fought Luke Campbell in Hull, and we were in the same hotel as him, and we went over to him after the next day, and when he was having breakfast, and we asked him and said, you know, how did the two compare? Maybe when you're looking at some of these new names in divisions, it's maybe a good pointer to ask some of the common opponents to say, you know, how did they feel? That I think sometimes maybe after these fights that they're expected to lose, they're forgotten a little bit, aren't they? And their opinions aren't maybe asked.
No one knows them better though, do they?
Exactly, yeah.
Who could be a better gauge
Seconds
of
out.
all the lightweights in the country than Ibrar Riyaz, who's spent 12 minutes with every single one of them.
Yeah.
Straight off his stool, straight to work there from Luke.
Yeah.
Lovely
Great body shot there, yeah. Whipped in very fast as well, hasn't he? Got fast hands.
Yeah, questions, comments in, hashtag VIP Boxing Live. Live from the Robin Park Arena, first VIP show of the season. Plenty more to come, some big fights planned this year.
Always exciting start to the new season, isn't it? You know, you've got the next couple of months scheduled there, all the fights coming up.
Right, it's incredible. I've never known a time like it for British boxing. Like we've said it a couple of times already tonight. You know, pound for pound greats, and British guys are in with them, and not just as punch bags.
Exactly, yeah. You know, Kell Brook there next week against Golovkin. What a fight that is for him, stepping up 2 weight divisions. I think it'll be a tougher fight for Golovkin than a lot of people think.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm of the opposite opinion. I think
it'll be a bit. It could be a bit tougher fight than his last fight, Golovkin's last fight. You know, it's not as if he's fighting stellar names who are he's pound for pound fighters themselves. Of course, it's going to be tough, and he's an underdog, rightly so, Kell Brook. But certainly to some of the last couple of opponents that Golovkin's had, I think Brook's better than him.
Brook's better than me. He can weigh 160 though, he can weigh 160 pounds, but that in no way prepares you for fighting Golovkin, who's been fighting and sparring light heavyweights for his entire career.
That's true.
And eventually the weight is just going to... What they can stand on the scales, we can both be 160, and Brook will probably feel better than he ever has, but that doesn't
he's not a middleweight.
He's not a middleweight, and he's not spent his life wrestling middleweights in the ring. And
and don't forget he's had a couple of close fights as well, and
he has
at his own division. But yeah, I think it'll be a competitive while it lasts, but fascinating fight all the same. And Golovkin, you know, how privileged are we to be seeing someone like that fighting in England.
I was talking to Billy. I was around at Billy Graham's house this morning. He was telling me he said it for years. He thinks that Golovkin's the greatest middleweight who's ever lived. He first said that to me 18 months ago. Billy's a massive fan. If anyone knows the ins and outs of a sport more, I've yet to meet him. Yeah. It seems like a bit of a bold claim for me yet, when some of the greats who fought at 160, but Billy assures me that none of them would have beat Golovkin.
The power, isn't it? The strength.
Another round in the bank for Luke Willis. Boxmore didn't sit down on his punches and let the combinations go quite as much that round. He's happy to land with singles to a body, wasn't he?
I think each round we've seen a little bit extra from him in different areas, haven't we? That round we saw him boxing a lot more. First round it was more power as well, when you noticed that he's got heavy hands, and Riyaz was sort of backed up a little bit, and as you said, his face was getting marked up. Second round maybe took a bit of a breather. His corner, I think, told him to get out there quick. Started the third, which he did, with a flurry of punches. So we're seeing a little bit of something extra from him each round, and he does look, at the moment, he does look like he'll have a good career. Again though, I come back to these journeymen and the skill it takes. Like Ibrar was struggling for a couple of minutes in that first round. If you can make a journeyman struggle, if you can stop a journeyman, then you've got some power, I think, or you've thrown exactly the right punch at exactly the right time.
Seconds out for the fourth and final round.
But the skill on Ibrar's part, as a guy who loses most weeks, to be able to alter things. I love these guys.
But that interview with Christian Lake, wasn't it, in the Boxing News, said there's losing and there's losing good, and sometimes they can lose good, and they know when they're in with someone decent. First round, they think, got no chance with this fella, so they just tighten up, cover themselves up, throw the odd jab out now and again, try and move around, and trying to absorb the power punches that they're throwing. But Riyaz doing well here, because I think that some of the power shots that Luke's been throwing are starting to tell on him. Certainly, if it went like another 2 rounds, he'd be struggling a lot more.
So the first woo of the night, I think it must have been difficult for Ibrar, because that's the first woo. I think he normally, if HBO were having the punch stat numbers that they normally do, they'd also have woo stats for Ibrar Riyaz. He'd probably average about 3, but that's the first one we've seen tonight. It's good to see area titles back on the back on the bill
Definitely,
tonight,
definitely. One of the best fights I've ever seen was at Central Area title. It was not so long ago as well when Carl Dilks fought
Wayne Adonai
in Liverpool Olympia. Fantastic fight.
Famous VIP show, that one of the greatest fights I've seen from ringside.
Again, these are the types of. If you don't go to these shows, then you don't see these types of fights because they're not on the big main channels or whatever. You know, you've got to get out and come down and watch these shows and watch these stars of the future. Hopefully,
it's bragging right. They might be fighting for the area title, but in many cases, it's bragging rights, isn't it? And that's what brings out the best of them.
Well, yeah, for a lot of these fighters, the ones who are good, decent pros. You know, they're all good, decent pros, but the ones who are, you know, maybe they know that they're never going. There's another word there from. As he took a bit of pressure, but Central Area belts, they're sort of bypassed a bit, aren't they, by some of the bigger names, the people who maybe are on faster trajectories to the top than others, but they're still worthwhile having for quite a lot of boxers, and good to see them getting fought for.
Oh, that's a lovely left hand there, right down the middle.
But yeah, that Central Area fight between Dilks and Adeni, right up there, one of my top 10 fights I've ever seen live. Brilliant.
Catch it on the VIP archive. I'm sure there's one. It's either probably on VIP website or YouTube through the VIP channel. A tremendous 10-round fight. Adonai won. He's sadly gone a bit quiet, hasn't he, Wayne? Since then, he's never capitalised on that win.
Yeah, I think he might have had a bit of an injury, hadn't he? And we thought that he was going to go on to bigger and better things not long after that for. Again, but it's all about keeping busy, and if injury can, there's another word there. Sometimes the injuries can curtail careers, or at least slow them down. Good fight that.
Really good fight for Luke Willis. Aggressor and planted his feet and let his punches go for a couple of rounds. Boxed on the back foot and picked his punches on, going away for a couple of rounds as well. He did everything there. Also like a pretty hard puncher. Pretty impressive performance that.
As you say, not many people make these good journeymen struggle or blowing hard at the end of fights, but he knows he's been in a good fight there against a good opponent, Riyaz.
Get the official announcement from Michael Pass, but I think you saw as well as we do that good win for Luke Willis there. Is it good? Is he good? Is he a good one? He looks sharp. Good.
John just having a chat at ringside there with Riyaz.
Ibrar.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of absorbing action, referee Darren Sargentson has scored this particular contest 40 points to 36 points for your winner. On his proud professional debut, hailing from Liverpool, Willis.
Django there getting a 40-36.
And a fine effort from this young man, ladies and gentlemen, 113 not out. It's a brand new socks. Thank you, Ibrar.